Hello, hello, hello. We are back one more time, and actually we'll be back quite a few more as the year of the Black Entrepreneur, are in the midst, about a third of the way through our 28 days highlighting Black entrepreneurs. My name is Ryan Ray. I am the founder of Triangle Entrepreneurial Leadership, and we are delighted to be able to come to you one more time this 9th day of February, our 9th day of this 28 days highlighting Black entrepreneurship. And we are delighted again that you are with us. If you're out there, please chime in. Let us know where you're tuning in from, who you are, what your business is. And as we talk about businesses, I want to make sure that I don't lose any of our time tonight for a special guest that we have on with you tonight. He is a member of the YBE community. Many of us have had this young man in our ear for years. If you've followed any type of radio, you know the name, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jerry Smith. Would you come on in, my friend, and let's have a conversation. How you doing, buddy? Jerry, can you hear us? I think Jerry is frozen up on us.
Hello, Jerry. Ryan. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about you?
For some reason, I cannot hear you.
Uh-oh, really? All right. Help us out there, Facebook world. Can you hear me? All right. Yes. All right, Jerry. Can you hear me now?
Hi, Ryan. For some reason, if you can hear me, I can't hear you. The audio for me to hear you cut off. So wow, I'm not sure what happened.
Wow, I can definitely hear you. Can you see me?
Hello?
All right. The audience is saying they can hear both of us, Jerry.
Yeah, my volume is up and
well, while we deal with some technical difficulties, as we often say in the technology world, if something is going to happen, it will probably happen when we don't want it to. So as they work through those kinks, Angela in the back there, we just want to welcome somebody is saying, go out and start over, Jerry, if you can hear us. So thank you, Miss Maxine, for being here. Lisa, thank you for being here. Dava, Miss Douglas, Shannon. If you are with us tonight, let us know who you are, where you're checking us out from. I promise you we'll get it worked out on the back end. But while we wait, let me just share a little bit more about the year of the Black entrepreneur. Listen, you know, with all that happened down in back in 2020, and we were thinking through the programming of what we would do for Triangle Entrepreneurial Leadership as we go into our 6th year, my apologies. And we just started thinking about some of the challenges that Black entrepreneurs faced in 2020, some of the barriers that entrepreneurs, some were able to overcome, and many were not. Many were left out in the opportunity to participate in the assistance, the PPP funding, different grant opportunities. And so, you know, we started thinking we have to go back and convene our Black entrepreneurs and work together, work collectively, and helping everyone to strengthen their infrastructure so that they can then show up to the table and be able to cast our line into the waters of abundance, be able to take advantage when opportunities come our way, but also just be able to qualify for your next level, whatever your next phase is of business. Our goal is to help you get there. And so how do we do that? The year of the Black entrepreneur consists of every Tuesday night. We are right here for what we call YBE Tuesday. So once we get done here tonight at 7 o'clock, all the members of the YBE community are going to be right here. And we're going to be talking through some of the challenges that any of our members may be facing and experiencing. And right here on this platform, you're going to be able to get 10, 15, 20 answers, responses, encouragements to help you continue to move your business forward. We often get stuck along the way, and it's okay to get stuck. But I want to challenge you not to stay stuck. Continue to move the ball forward in your business. And so every Tuesday, that's what we're up to. And then on the fourth Tuesday of every month, we have what's called YBE seminars, guys. And we had our very first seminar the fourth Tuesday in January. And man, what a great time that was. We got to be able to share some. Looks like Jerry is back. So let me wrap this up and we'll bring him on in. We were able to share some content specific to the needs of our entrepreneurs. And so we want to invite you, YBE Tuesdays, go to YBE Hub. If you're out there, you have not become a member yet, it's not too late. Go to YBEHub.com. And we hope to see you tonight at 7 o'clock at YBE Tuesdays. All right, he is back. Mr. Smith, are you back?
I am back and apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened, but I could hear you. I could hear the music. I was getting my groove on, ready to come on, and all of a sudden you were lip syncing there. It was like no words coming out. But again, thank you for having me. I'm very humbled that I have this opportunity.
Well, man, listen, we appreciate you. And as I was building you up, man, to toss you the alley-oop, we were talking about, if you've tuned into radio at any time over the past, 20, 30 years, you have heard the voice of Mr. Jerry Smith. And so just on that note, before we talk about where you are today, tell us about Mr. Smith and that journey through radio and, any experiences you like to share that you feel like prepared you for right where you are today. And then we'll talk about how you've transitioned into entrepreneurship.
Awesome. Again, thank you for this opportunity. Very humbled to tell my story. And I love to tell my story. I didn't always tell it 100% of the way that I tell it now. But when I was 12 years old, I've been doing radio for 36 years. They're almost 36 and a half years. Wow. And I've been blessed to work in all different genres of the music. I worked in every format except country and jazz. I worked in rock, classic rock, oldies. I played Neil Sedaka, Barbra Streisand, Kenny Rogers, Kenny Loggins, Aerosmith. I played the Rolling Stones. I played the Beatles. I played Aerosmith, Jethro Tull, Pink. I mentioned Pink Floyd, and a host of others. But I got my start in radio professionally in 1984 at a little gospel radio station in Greenville, North Carolina. But even going before that, Ryan, when I was 12 years old, God put radio in my heart. And I used to listen as a little kid to WBLS in New York City. And anybody from the tri-state area knows of Frankie Crocker, the chief rocker. He was my idol. And people were telling me at that young age I'd never be able to do radio. I didn't know anybody. I couldn't do it. And 7 years later, I was doing it in college at Central Connecticut State University, WFCS. I was DJ Hollywood. I'd never been to Hollywood ever, but that was like a dream of mine. So 7 years later, I was doing it in college. I did it in college for about a year and a half. I also worked at a college radio station in New Haven, Connecticut. But I've just been blessed, man, since 1984 to do radio. And I've had some great teachers and great mentors in my life, some people that operate at the highest level to teach me and mentor me. So it's really, really been a blessing. I've had a really successful career as a radio announcer, as a radio programmer, Stellar Award recipient for the Light 103.9. I know a lot of people don't know of the Marconi Award, but the Light won the Marconi Award for Religious Station of the Year, and that's like winning an Academy Award. That's the highest level. That award is presented by the National Association of Broadcasters. I've been nominated personally. I haven't won, but one day I will.
That's right.
Personally for a Stellar Award. I just pinch myself at what God has done for me, what I've been able to achieve with my career, the places that I've been able to travel, and people at 12 years old telling me I never would be able to do it. So I love to talk to young men and women and let them know that whatever God puts in their heart, it's already done. God is waiting on them. They have to stay out of trouble. They have to educate themselves. They have to work hard, and that they will be whatever it is they want to be: a doctor, lawyer, preacher, teacher, a scientist, an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker like Ryan Ray, and a motivator, or a radio announcer like Jerry Smith. And I've done television throughout my career as well. And I just, pinch myself to just be so blessed to have done so much at such a relative young age. Let me throw that out there, at a young age.
That's right. That's right. That's good stuff, Jerry, man. Listen, if you're just joining us, you are listening to Mr. Jerry Smith, and wow, 36 years in radio, man. And Jerry, I was also mentioning in the setup that 2020 afforded us some tremendous opportunities. It certainly had its challenges, but has also afforded us some opportunities. And so many times when challenges are presented to us, depending upon how we perceive those and respond to those, really determine kind of our next quarter of life. And so being in radio for 36 years and building it up, being, winning all of these awards, I'm sure you probably got to a place where, there's maybe a little bit of comfort, right? I found my home. I found my space. I'm good to go. I'm going to ride this thing out. I'm going to retire doing music for somebody else, right? And there's two different types of entrepreneurs. There are those who have begun to pursue entrepreneurship by choice. And then there are some who have chosen to pursue entrepreneurship by force. And if I understand correctly, you had some decisions to make that has now positioned you uniquely in the radio world, but it was not by choice to begin with. Tell us about that and what you're up to now.
Okay. Well, again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and I encourage you to like this if you're watching on Facebook, and please share it with your friends as well. So I got into radio professionally 36 years. I accomplished so many things. 2019 going into 2020, I'll never forget, in December, I was like, 2020 is going to be an amazing year for me. I just feel it in my bones. And of course, early 2020, we were dealing with COVID-19. Didn't really have that impact that it has right now. January, some cases popping up. February, this thing is getting serious. March, everybody work from home. And then on April 7th, I had a call with my general manager about a whole nother issue. 10 a.m. we were scheduled to talk, and I called him up. I'm getting ready, and my mindset, because I was prepared to have this conversation with him. And basically that conversation was they were cutting back the part-timers' hours, and I pretty much had a streamlined operation, and I didn't, I was fighting for them to keep the hours that they had. And so he said, Jerry, I've got some bad news to tell you. Or I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember verbatim. And he said, the company has decided to dissolve your position. I was in a state of shock because I had operated at the highest level, multiple promotions, multiple responsibilities. At one time, I was overseeing all of the Radio 1 gospel programming for not only the gospel stations, but the secular stations, Sunday morning show. I was the talent coordinator for a national comedy tour. I was the talent coordinator and event coordinator for their One Love cruise. And to get this news was like a state of shock. Yeah. But honestly, Ryan, prior to that, God was telling me to move on and to do my own thing. But I, like you said, was fat, happy, comfortable, coming down the home stretch of my career. I can ride it out, until maybe retirement. And just, hey, I've been saving well in my retirement fund and Social Security. And I got that news, and I was in a state of shock for a day or two. But the thing is, I did not feel like it was doom and gloom and that my life was over. Truthfully, I've been a semi-entrepreneur all my life. From a little kid, newspaper boy, growing up in Connecticut, when it snowed, we'd take out the shovels and go to the neighbors' yards and shovel their driveways and sidewalks for a little bit of money. And you know, during the fall, we'd rake leaves, and always worked in college, and even, you know, now, you know, do DJ wedding receptions and church functions and stuff like that, but not my own business. So, as you mentioned, I had to do something out of necessity.
Yeah.
And I prayed about it. God, you know, put in my heart what to do. When I was initially laid off due to COVID-19, and that was the reason why I was laid off. It had nothing to do with performance or anything like that, no issues in the workplace. It was all due to COVID-19, and COVID-19 negatively impacted radio immensely. So I knew that if something like that happened, that I was at risk because of my salary level. But God put in my heart to listen. Do what you've been doing, you know, do it for yourself. I've helped all the companies that I work for make millions of dollars.
Sure.
Millions of dollars. And, you know, God was like, listen, the clock is ticking. You're not getting any younger. I've got great things for you, plenty of wealth and prosperity, but, you know, you won't go get it. You're fat and happy and you're just staying here. Let me move you if you won't move yourself.
Yes.
And man, I'm telling you, when I look back over 2020, it has been the best year of my life. I'm just like, wow, this is great. This is great. I'm having my own company. You know, it's called JAS Consulting and Entertainment. I consult artists. I consult radio stations. I do special events and planning. I launched my own internet radio station, Favor 97.3, doing what I love, DJing, playing music, and programming. So all the things that I was doing for others, I'm now doing for myself with less stress. I'm not in my drawers right now, but I laugh with my friends. I'm like, I'm sitting in front of the computer in my drawers, blood pressure down, having the time of my life. This is bananas. This is crazy, but it's just a great, great feeling.
Wow, Jerry, man, that is exciting. So glad that you've gotten comfortable sharing your story. I have no doubt that someone out there listening has been tremendously inspired because for so many, this has been one of those years. Ms. Henderson says that it's been a make or break year. And man, yeah, and somebody else said, I've heard similar stories, Ms. Douglas, and God had another plan for your life. And so, man, listen, I always enjoy talking to you. We could go on. You know, we got business at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
So talk to us. So you've made this transition. You accepted where God was sending you and positioning you. You started JAS Consulting. And now tell us about this radio station that I think Miss Anissa said is the best radio show in the land. The best gospel show in the land. Lisa Green is out there. I know she is a huge fan of Jerry Smith. So tell us about this internet radio station, man. It's getting all this buzz. You've gotten a ton of followers already in just such a short season. And man, we are just delighted that you found this space and that we didn't have to lose you. And what happened to Jerry? What happened? No, Jerry's still here. So tell us about this radio station.
Well, Favor 97.3 is named Favor because I feel like God has just favored me all of my life. Not just in the past 20 years when I worked with Radio 1, but ever since I was a little kid. I can't explain it. I'm a giver. I have a generous heart. I love helping people. I love empowering people. Sometimes I've helped people financially. And I know people say, Jerry, you're crazy. You know, why are you doing that or doing this? But it's just how God made me. It's my DNA. Yeah. And even though I don't ask God to bless me for blessing others, it's like he blesses me. And he's shown me favor all my life. So the name was really easy. Favor And the 9 and the 7 and the 3, those numbers are significant. My father was born September 7th. I'm the 3rd. A lot of people don't know that. And I believe in the Father, the Son, and the precious Holy Ghost. I was born in March 12th. So those numbers are significant. I launched Favor 97.3 on September 5th at 5:55 a.m. That was the date that my mom passed. She passed September 2018. And my mom, who was a preacher, had a preaching show on a little AM gospel station. And she would go in once a week and do a sermon. And she overheard the general manager say that he needed some part-time help. And she said, well, my son did some college radio playing the blues. He might can help you out. And he said, send him down. And that was August 1984. They hired me and I never looked back. So in memory of my mom, who helped me to get my very first professional radio job, I wanted to do the station in memory of her. The station really is just a makeup or a clone of my whole career. I've learned from some of the most amazing people at the highest level who poured into me, who saw more in me than I saw in myself. They were saying all these things to me early on in my career that I didn't understand. Like, you're going to program multiple radio stations. You're going to do well. Let me teach you this and let me tell you this. And integrity is the most important thing. And every one of them that had a positive word to say or prophesied about my future came into fruition. Yeah. So, you know, I've just been blessed to be trained and taught by the best. And that's what I put into Favor. It's music wise and programming wise, just to be a friendly, a listener friendly radio station, to bless those, to inspire those. Business wise, I really think about small businesses, and I want to do something that's really affordable for them, because I've worked in radio so long, I know it's expensive to advertise. So I wanted to do something that would allow them some marketing, advertising, at a relatively inexpensive a rate. And you know, money, this may sound crazy. It doesn't mean that to me. Helping someone, God will take care of me. He's been favoring me and blessing me all my life, and that hasn't stopped. So if I could be a blessing to someone and help their business grow, then I get more happiness out of that than anything else.
Jerry, listen, man, you're talking about Favor, and man, we got to go. We got to have you back here real soon. But you talk about Favor, and what you've done, though, is you've planted seeds all of your life, right? And that's the principle. You put seed in the ground, you give, you serve others, and there's this thing called seed. So time has to pass, and then there's a harvest. And man, you are in harvest season. You are harvesting, and there's so much left for you to go out and harvest, my friend. And so listen, guys, if you're out there listening, you want a career in radio, you want to become an artist, you want to learn how to put on events, you want to learn how to do live streaming radio. Listen, a mentor told me years ago, find somebody else who's already done what you want to do and learn from them. And Jerry, man, you are the best at it. You have translated a 36-year skill set that you've developed into your own business, into your own gig, if you will. And now it is proven fruitful, not just to your life, though, Jerry, but to the lives of so many. And I believe with everything in my heart that God is going to expand your territory. Eyes have not seen, nor have ears heard what God has in store for you, my friend. Amen. So as we wrap this thing up tonight, again, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure to be with you. Any closing remarks, encouragement words you want to share with our listeners before we wrap up?
Well, please go to my website, jerrysmith03.com, jerrysmith03.com, jerrysmith03.com. And I just want you to stay encouraged and know that if God can do it for me, a knucklehead kid from High Ridge Gardens, Danbury, Connecticut, the projects, he can do it for you. Now that I've gotten older, I realized that there was purpose for my life to do what I'm doing, to bless others. I didn't know that God would be the one getting the glory for my life, but he is. Yeah. So just know you're not here by chance. You're not here by happenstance. There is purpose for your life. Step outside of your comfort zone. Yes. I was comfortable, but once I did forced to get outside my comfort zone. It's been the best thing that ever happened to me, and it can happen for you as well. Ryan, thank you again for this opportunity. I appreciate you.
My pleasure, my friend. Listen, thank you one more time to Mr. Jerry Smith of JAS Consulting and Favor 97.3. If you are not subscribed, if you are not following, make sure you go out and do that. You can follow him on all of social media. And again, if you have not taken the opportunity to join the Year of the Black Entrepreneur, we want to encourage you to do so right now. Go out to ybehub.com. You still have a few minutes left to join us for YBE Tuesdays, happening in just about 3 minutes. So Miss Maxine, Lisa, who else is out there? Miss Douglas, Kimberly, we will see you on the other side. God bless you all. Good night. And we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of 28 Days Highlighting Black Entrepreneurs. Good night, everyone.